We now continue with Smurf.
I have a bunch of weird stuff from my childhood, but they are not isolated incidents, so I am going to group related ones together. Story group number 1, the Scary Channel. I hope this makes sense. I was really young when this happened, but I cannot remember my exact age. I think maybe 5, 6 years old. My parents took me to some department store with an electronics section. They have one of those areas where a ton of different sized TVs are on display, broadcasting all kinds of different channels. I get separated from my parents because I stop at one particular TV to watch what's on it. I can't really describe what it was displaying, beyond calling it complex geometry or chaotic math. The images I can recall are like fractals and multidimensional shapes folding into one another on a black background at varying speeds. The audio is just persistent droning. For whatever reason, it kind of reminds me of Transformers. I remember thinking this is some super awesome action sequence and they are fighting in space. Suddenly, the TV talks to me, but non-verbally, if that makes sense. Like, not quite telepathy either. There is just an understanding in my head that it said something. I think there's nothing wrong with that at the time. I am too young to really recall the exact exchange, but whatever it was, asked if I was scared, because apparently, whatever was on the screen was scary. My parents, now freaking out, have them call for me over the store PA and tell me to come to the front or whatever. I leave the TV and go and find my parents. My mom is like, "Anon, thank God you are alright. Always stay by me or your dad in public. Why didn't you stick with us?" And I just respond something really stupid like, I was watching the Scary Channel. We get home. I tell my parents how cool the Scary Channel was, and repeatedly make them try and find it on our TV at home over the next few days. They can't find it, or even really figure out what I'm talking about. Possibly because the only description I can give is shapes spinning and changing colors. They ask me if there is anything else to go by, and I just say, in outer space. They tell me, we probably don't get that channel. I am pissed for a second, but then I decide to go play Batman or something. Later, we go back to that same department store at one point. I go to my mom like, can I go and watch the Scary Channel? My mom says sure, and sends my dad with me to where the TVs are. Sure enough, one of the TVs is showing the same kind of rotating, morphing polychorons and stuff like that. I am really psyched. I am telling my dad to check out how badass the show is. My dad just plays along, because it looks to him like the set is just not getting good reception. Just the garbled, distorted cross-channel mess of a bad signal. Yeah, I know. Don't worry, it gets better. My dad tells my mom, and she is amused by my little kid imagination. This will be a recurring theme in most of these. So initially, my parents think that they can put the Scary Channel for me to watch at home by tuning to a random station that we do not get with our cable package. They tried doing this though, and I call bullshit. That is not the Scary Channel. They still can't find it on the TV at my house. However, my parents used to always leave me with a daycare service of sorts while they were at work. I say of sorts because the woman ran it out of her house, but a bunch of local parents of young kids paid her to watch their children while they were at their 9 to 5. I was at her house one day, flipping through the stations on the TV in the kids area. She had a separate newer one in the next room for watching Murder, She Wrote or whatever bullshit that did not have dinosaurs in it. Her house got it. Her house got the Scary Channel. We are all hyped because I had talked it up so much. Seconds later, the other kids are crying, running out of the room, scared out of their tiny minds by something. Well, the channel told me it was scary. I want to talk to the thing in the channel that talked before, but the lady looking after us busts in the room and immediately turns the TV off. She tells me the other kids said I showed them the devil or something. I think everyone had said something different. Whatever it was, I was not allowed to watch it over there anymore. Sorry for not writing these up quicker, but it's hard to express distant recollection like this as a cohesive story, even in green text form. Final part of Scary Channel Story Group, or is it? Over the course of the next year or so, I would routinely scan through stations looking for the scary channel every time I was in a different setting and given access to a television. Parents had heard about it upsetting the other children, but they still kind of thought it was harmless. After all, kids are kind of stupid. Maybe they just got scared because I called it scary, and so their own little kid imaginations had formed horror out of the blobby distorted pictures on the screen. A few notable instances followed. I am at my mom's friend's house. I am sitting on the floor at the foot of the couch while my mom and her friend talk. I remember the friend gave me an X-Men comic. Not a proper comic book, but a storybook formatted as a comic book that Marvel published for younger readers. That really stands out in my mind for some reason. I just skim through, mostly looking at the pictures. Let's see if she gets the scary channel. Mom and friend keeps chatting, oblivious to the fact that I am flipping through the channels now. When I see the dope-ass shapes on the screen, I stop and sit back a little bit, still only like 2 feet away from the television set. Now they take notice. My mom tells her friend about my imaginary TV station. Oh, okay. The TV starts talking again. Unable to perceive it, mom and friend are a little weirded out when I talk back to it. I am just babbling, word salad. I tell them they can change the channel if they want. In the car on the way home, my mother asked me ostensibly having a nonsense conversation with myself. In response, I ask her if people from different worlds still believe in God. She is absolutely baffled at this. I have one more brief, final related instance. I am at my grandparents' house. All the adults are in the kitchen. My brother and I are in the living room. Guess what I found on their television? My brother just keeps going, I don't like this, and can we turn the station? I decide maybe we can go and play in the basement instead. The basement at my grandparents' house had all kinds of cool shit in it. Also unfortunately had a heavy, implacably menacing aura that made mundane things seem terrifying. But there was a dartboard. I receive this message as I am turning off the television. The TV says, the thing in the basement is real. Nope. I decide not to go to the basement. One day the channel just was not on TV anymore. Oddly enough, it actually coincided with network changes. I have one more dating back to the same part of early childhood, which is not related to the scary channel, before I go to bed. I wrote this into a full-length story at one point that goes way more in depth and tells you everything that happened to me, but here is the gist. I was about 22 years old. My parents kept the starter home where we lived until I was 2 and had been renting it out for 20 years. They help maintain the property and check up on the current tenants from time to time. I go by one day and discover the woman who was currently renting has taken her own life. After her body is removed and we've installed a new carpet with no blood or piss on it, something just tells me to go and explore this now empty house. In the bathroom I find baby-sized footprints, like burned into the bathtub, leading right into the drain. I found out that the woman took her own life in part because she had an abortion and thought her guilt was making her hallucinate because she kept hearing a baby in and around that bathroom. I find out 10 years earlier that another tenant's daughter drowned in that bathtub. That's already kind of spooky. I suddenly remember taking a bath in that house 10 years before that. There were footprints in the bathtub. It gave me chills, and that was even before someone on here mentioned that often in stories of drowned children, their spirit will attempt to lure other children to the same fate. Okay guys, bear with me. I don't believe in ghosts, demons, monsters, blah blah blah. Most of the stuff that you guys love. But this one thing did happen to me, and it still gets to me. I live out in the woods. I'm out in the driveway on my cell phone. The tin roof kinda kills my service. I hear rustling in the woods. I figure it must be a deer or something. The rustling gets really loud, really quickly. It gets loud enough for me to stop talking and look in the direction that it is coming from. I see something taller than myself, maybe 6'1", jump out of a ditch, onto a path through the woods, and back down the ditch on the other side. Ready for the messed up part? The whole entire thing was just red. I went back inside shaken. I no longer go for walks down that trail. I'm sure there's an explanation, cause like I said, I don't believe in anything supernatural. I just can't think of what that could have been. Obviously, I noped the hell out of there and ran to my car, went to work, and tried to act normal for the rest of the day. I called my friend and asked if I could spend some time at his apartment, but I had to go back to my home to get my clothes and stuff. I drive home. I'm sitting in the driveway. I am looking all over my house for any sign of anything. I see nothing wrong. I slowly get out of my car and make a fist in my hands, ready to fight. I tense up as I walk to my door. I open the door slowly. I am absolutely terrified. I see nothing off or unusual. I have to get upstairs to get my clothes. I get my clothes and run the hell out of my house. I look back again when I'm in my car. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. It's upstairs in my bedroom where I just was. It's staring at me again. I just saw this thing blink. I am literally shaking in my pants at this point. Nothing can describe the absolute terror I felt at that moment. I drive real fast to my friend's house. I spend a week there before my friend asks why I'm there. I tell him the truth. He wants to get a gun and hunt it down. I hesitantly agree to help. The next day, my friend gets 2 handguns, hands me one. He has one for himself. Wait a minute. I don't want to go around shooting stuff. My friend calls me a coward. I hand back the gun anyways. We drive back to my house. I see nothing wrong from the outside. We walk up to my house. My friend is ahead of me. He hesitates for a second at the front door. He opens the door. So far so good. Nothing seems to have moved. We slowly enter every single room of the house. We check under the bed, closets, everywhere. We see nothing wrong. My friend starts to suspect that I might just have been going crazy. I tell him I will not stay at my place. I actually want to sell the house at this point. No way am I just seeing shit. My friend agrees to let me stay at his house for a while until I find a new place. We get out of the house and I actually look back, expecting to see another face looking back at me again, but I do not see anything. My friend looks back at the house. My friend freezes. I see his jaw drop. I look back. I see a curtain move. We both get the hell out of there. I spend the night at my friend's house, and then I go to work. I come home, but my friend is not home. I call his cell phone to see where he is at. He won't answer me. Then it hits me. He went to my house when I was at work. Damn it. Why did you do that, you absolute idiot? I sigh and get into my car and start driving to my house. I absolutely hate being at my house at this point. I never ever want to go back into it. I see my friend's car in the driveway. What an asshole. I get out of my car and walk to my friend's car. My friend is in the driver's seat, shaking like he saw a ghost. He has a gun in his hand. He is somewhat pointing it at himself. I ask my friend what's the matter. My friend never acts like this. He never does any drugs except for weed. He turns, looks at me, and just screams, like full on. I turn to look behind me, but I see nothing, and then I look back at my friend. My friend recognizes it's me again, and he calms down a little bit. I ask my friend to give me the gun. I look back at the house. I can see a little bit into the house. The house is a complete mess with stuff moved around and things broken. My idiot friend went into the house alone and threw shit around like he was fighting something. I take my friend out of the car and walk him back to my car. I suddenly sense that I am being watched. I say screw it. I am not going to even look back this time. I drive back to my friend's house. That night, my friend tells me what happened after he calms down. When he got to my house while sitting in his car preparing to get into my house, he could have sworn he saw something in the house out of the corner of his eyes, but he dismissed it as just his mind playing tricks on him. He walks up to my house. He opens up the door, gets in, and sees nothing out of the ordinary. He walks into my living room, looks around, and taunts whatever it is to come out, waving his arms like an idiot. At least, that's how I picture it. Then he walks into the basement. My stairs have openings between each step, so you know what happens. My friend feels something grab his ankle, and hard. My friend trips and falls down the stairs. My friend gets up really quickly, ready to fight. He hears a screech. My friend nopes up the stairs. Something grabs his ankle and holds on to it with all of its might. My friend struggles to get free. He starts kicking the hand. My friend gets free when squeezing the hand between foot and stair. He gets the hell out of there. He is about to run out of the house. He trips over the coffee table and breaks it. That idiot. He hears footsteps slowly walking up the stairs. He turns around to look at the stairs and sees eyes looking back at him. My friend gets the hell up and runs out of the house. He gets into the car, pulls out the gun from his pocket, shaking, scared for his life. He watches the house while he tries to start the car. His car will not start. He thinks he won't live, so he decides to end it before it gets to him. He does not have the courage to do it, so he just sits there frozen and shaking, waiting for the creature to come and kill him. Only it never comes out. At this point, I'm starting to think it's a hobo living in my house without me knowing it. My friend agrees. We call the cops. We drive to our house. The cops are already there. Cops looked through the entire house. They find nothing except for a mess. Looks into house. See more mess than before. TV is now broken. The windows are cracked. I accuse the cops of messing up my house. My friend only messed up the coffee table. The cops say it was like that when they got here. Realize that maybe the guy, if it was a guy, ran away. I get back into my house. I look around for anything undamaged. I get in my bedroom and look around. I look up. Oh shit, nope. I can see a set of eyes in the vent. I run down to the cops. The cops come up, guns out, prepared to shoot. I go into my bedroom. The cop sees the eyes, freaks out, but the eye does not move. We unscrew the vent. All the while, the eyes were staring back. It was absolutely creepy. It's a dead black cat. No way. How the hell did that get up there? The vent was screwed in. The cops look through the house again, checking every nook and cranny. They find nothing. I feel unsafe still, so I go to my friend's house, spend the night, and then go to work the next day. I come home and my friend is home. Everything is normal, but the elephant is still in the room. We are too curious to just let this sit still. I get an idea to ask my neighbors if they saw anything. I drive to the house, get out of the car, and knock on my neighbor's door. Nobody saw anything since I left yesterday. I walk back to the house. I am watching the house carefully. I see nothing. I go back to my friend's house for a week before I finally feel safe enough to live in my home again. Friend suggests that he spends the night with me. I feel thankful and accept the offer. Back at home, I am watching TV, hanging out with my friend. I am falling asleep. I drag myself upstairs to my bed. My friend is still downstairs, watching TV on the couch. I sleep for like an hour, before I hear a quiet clicking noise. My eyes pop open. I listen. I think it might just be my friend. The clicking noise does not stop, and I feel really nervous. I get out of bed to go downstairs. The TV is on, but it's muted. My friend is nowhere to be seen. What? Maybe my friend just went to the bathroom. The clicking noise is still audible. I go to the bathroom. The door is open and the lights are off. I call out my friend's name. I can hear nothing but clicking. I call my friend's name out louder. I hear a moaning sound now. Oh shit, oh my god. I walk to the stairs leading to the basement. The moaning is now slightly louder. It's definitely coming from the basement. The clicking has stopped. Huh? I flick the basement lights on and the moaning stops. I walk downstairs slowly. I ready my fists. There is nothing out of the ordinary except light flickers more than usual. I walk into one of the basement rooms. I see my friend sprawled out on the floor, but the light is still off. I freak out and manage to suppress my fear as I slowly reach to turn on the lights, but then I stop. I see a set of eyes looking back from the darkness. Oh shit. I run the hell out of the house and call 911. The cops arrive. My friend was found in the basement, but he does not remember anything. He doesn't know how he got there or how he passed out. I sell the house and move. Just a week ago, I drove past that house and stopped by to talk to the previous owners. The previous owner greets me and we chat for a while. The topic very quickly turns to the house. The owner does not notice anything out of the ordinary, except they found a dead cat in their vents too. It was a black cat. I asked what they did with it. The owner said they buried it. I asked them to show me where they buried it. It was in their backyard. The cops took away the black cat when I found mine. We walk outside to their backyard. I awkwardly ask if I can dig up the cat again. The owner says, okay. The owner gets the shovel and he starts digging, while I help. Find nothing, but he keeps on digging. The owner swears it was where he buried it. Nope, he finds nothing. There is no trace of the cat at all. The owner keeps on digging until he is convinced that he will not find the cat anymore. Damn, were we both seeing things? I tell the owner my story. The owner wonders what is going on. Suddenly, the owner starts freaking out. He says he saw eyes in his house. I look back. I see it too. I swear I saw it nod at me. I'm calm this time, so I nod back. The eye blinks and then moves away. I look back to the owner. The owner is still freaking out. I am calm because I know I don't have to deal with the eye anymore. It's the owner's problem now. I tell the owner I see nothing. The owner is just seeing stuff because I told him my story. I walk away and drive home. I sit in the driveway for a second to observe my house. There is obviously nothing there since I'm in my new home, and I am just relieved. I haven't been back since. I don't know what happened to the new owner, if anything did happen. I think I prefer not knowing. Hey, hope you've enjoyed the story so far. If you want to hear more, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment because it lets YouTube know you like the content and helps more people to see these videos. My next big goal for the channel is 100,000 subscribers, and as a celebration, I will be doing a Q&A video once we hit that goal. Thank you, and back to the stories. This happened to me when I was in my mid-20s. I was a really outdoorsy guy at the time, not a believer in the supernatural at all. I decided to go hiking alone one day. I just need to clear my head. I pick a remote nature preserve. There is no cell service there at all. There are no trails on Google Maps either. I bring my old machete along with me. I always carry it for bushwhacking. The day is hot. The air is absolutely thick with humidity, and there are bugs everywhere. I have to fight them away with the machete. I hike for hours. I barely see any wildlife, just birds and the occasional squirrel. I eventually reach a river where the water is completely clear, the banks are untouched, and there are no trash or footprints around. It feels like I'm the first person here in decades, like the place looks absolutely pristine. I sit on a rock and eat my lunch. I'm just watching the water, watching the nature all around me. I get this weird feeling like I am being watched, but I brush it off. It's probably a deer or a squirrel or a bird. I decide to set up a trail cam by a lily pond nearby. As I am walking, I hear what sounds like a girl giggling. I stop and listen, but I don't hear anything anymore. I keep walking with my machete in hand, just in case. I suddenly realize that my machete is gone. The sheath is still strapped to my pack, but the blade is missing. I panic a little and retrace my steps, looking frantically for it everywhere, but I can't find anything. There's no way it just dropped out. I start to feel really exposed, like I'm being hunted. I kneel down to get the trail cam out, and I hear that giggle again. I stand up with my heart pounding. I scan the trees, but I can't see anything. There is no sign of even any small animal anymore. I turn around and now my machete is back, sitting in its sheath right next to my pack. I swear I left the sheath on the ground, several feet away. I check the blade and it is completely clean, but the handle is wet. It's like someone just dipped it in water, dipped it in the river. My skin crawls. I decide to leave the machete where it is for now. I walk back to the riverbank and try to calm down. I light a cigarette and say out loud, I respect the forest. I am leaving now. I grab the machete, grip it tight, and start walking back. Every few steps, I am glancing back over my shoulder. The woods are still silent and there are still no animals nearby. The only thing I can hear is the crunch of my boots. After a while, I realize I'm not on the same trail that I came in on. It's completely different. The trees are not the same. The undergrowth is thicker and I can't see the river from where I am anymore. Like, nothing about this trail is the same. I start to sweat. I hear the giggle again, but now it's behind me, then in front, then to the side, then miles away in the trees echoing. It sounds like a girl, but it obviously can't be a girl. It must be something imitating that noise. My machete suddenly feels heavier, almost sticky. I try to pull it up and it's a struggle. I look down and see a smear of red on the blade. I wipe it off, but every time I put it back down, I feel that same sticky, wet sensation again, and the blood is black. It looks like the metal is bleeding. My heart is pounding now, and I am jogging away. The branches are whipping in my face. I just want to get out of there. I trip over a root and fall hard. My machete skids away from my hands when I fall. As I scramble to my feet, I see something move between the trees. It's this tall, thin, grayish shape. The arms are much too long. Its head is cocked to the side. I can't tell the exact shape, but it's human enough, humanoid. I can't see its face, it's just a blur. The air in front of it is like vibrating. It feels like my vision is blurry, but just in that one spot. It's now holding my machete. It just freezes on the spot when I see it, just staring at me. And then it drops the blade and melts back into the woods. Like it doesn't walk, it literally melts. I run to grab the machete with my hand shaking. The blade is ice cold and the handle is sticky. I hear whispering all around me in the trees. I start running. I don't care about the direction anymore. I just want to get out of here. The woods get denser and denser, and I find them pulling at my clothes and hitting me in the face and just catching my skin. I trip again and land in a patch of mud. I look up and I see dozens of animal bones scattered all around. Some are fresh, some still have fur and meat on them. I realize I'm in some kind of feeding ground. The smell hits my nose and I recoil away. It's foul. It's a mixture of rot and some kind of sweet smell. I hear crunching and look up. I see the thing crouched in a tree. It's eating a deer leg. It's gnawing on it. It's ripping and pulling away fur and meat, and then it's just chewing on the bones. It stops eating and takes a look at me. It stretches its mouth really wide. I can see just how many teeth it has. My machete feels useless, but I hold it up anyway. The thing drops from the tree, but I never make it hear a sound when it hits the floor. I back away, never breaking eye contact with the thing. I start to edge away, never turning my back. I finally break into a run once line of sight is broken, and I do not stop until I hit the river. I collapse on the bank, just gasping. I look at the machete and the blade is clean again, but the handle is covered in black hair. I just throw it into the river and watch it sink. I sit there until the sun starts to set. I finally find the original trail again. I make it back to my car as night falls. I drive home in silence with my windows up and my doors locked. I never went back to that forest ever again. Thankfully, I never encountered anything like that ever again. I still cannot explain what happened to me. I don't know what that thing was, or how it did all those things. This wasn't the spookiest thing to ever happen to me, but I still felt really eerie about this. I go out camping with friends to a forest that we know pretty well. There is a lake on a clearing where we usually camp. I drive to the parking lot. Ours is the only car. We start walking towards the clearing and the lake. It's absolutely freezing and it smells like shit the whole time. We reach the lake at about 5-ish p.m. There is not a lot of sunlight because it is wintertime. We place the tents in the sleeping bags and start preparing our food. I see my pal looking at the trees right at the other side of the lake with a really weird look on his face. He says there is someone there. I can see it after a few minutes. It's someone wearing a red coat. There are no lights or anything, no flashlight, which is weird because the lake sits right next to a huge mountain range and there is absolutely nothing, not even a road or a dirt path if you walk past the lake. I keep on making food, but we see the figure approaching us. I am considering turning, putting the fire off and leaving, just in case it's a weird aggressive redneck. We are concerned because whoever it is does not have any type of light source. It turns out it's a girl in her 20s. She walks up to us and weirdly says hello. We talk to her. She is actually pretty good looking. One of my friends even flirts a little bit. She ends up staying with us for a while. Never tells us where she comes from or what she was doing in there. She suddenly gets up randomly and says she is leaving. What the hell? It's like -5 degrees and dark as shit. I tell her to stay the night with us. She insists on leaving. Oh well, can't make her stay. We give her at least some food and a flashlight. She only takes a Snickers bar and starts walking towards the path that leads to the parking lot. I can hear the footsteps getting quicker, as if she started running. We all go to sleep with a really weird feeling. It's the next morning. We walk back to the parking lot, trying to figure out who the girl was and what the hell her problem was. We are halfway there. I see something red in the distance. It's about 100 to 150 meters away from the path, deep in the woods. I am feeling concerned again. I decide to leave the path to see if it's the girl. It's not the girl, but her coat hanging from a tree. Her boots are also there, maybe 10 meters away from the coat, with her socks still inside of them. I start searching around the coat because this looks like she was abducted or something. I find nothing else, aside from the Snickers bar between some dried leaves. Not sure if we're so damn tense we can imagine things, but the two of us can swear that we've heard footsteps on 3 different occasions coming from 2 opposite directions. This ends up spooking us, so we decide to leg it. 2 of the girls are terrified. One of them is on the verge of tears. We finally reach our car. Ours is the only one van parked there. Call the police just in case. Hear nothing else about the matter. If anyone has any theories, I'm more than glad to hear them. It's been 5 years, and we still talk about it from time to time, and have no clue what happened at all.